Like, don't text me in the middle of the live stream. My bad. I'm trying to get my cousin in here. It's not doing it. What's up, Cash Campaign? How you doing? Like, why is it not? What the? Having some technical difficulties, of course, because it's Mercury retrograde, shadow, still.
Okay.
Cousin!
Hey. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You looking beautiful.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
Like,
Okay.
It's a rainy ass day, so I'm just like really chilling right now.
Yeah, I'm out here on the East Coast. I'll be back tomorrow. So I'm not out there with that rain right now, but yep. So okay. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's
I'm
get into
excited.
it. Transmuting
So
energy.
you go first, because I know you really wanted to discuss. This was like your thing. You really wanted to discuss this. So,
Well, I want to talk about esoteric shit with people that know about esoteric shit. So it's like,
okay.
what more appropriate than with my beautiful Reiki master cousin? You feel me?
You're Reiki certified. You're a Reiki practitioner as well. It runs in the bloodline.
Yes. So, okay, I
Oh,
don't normally talk about like my credential. I don't be like flexing my credentials like that. But yes, I am level 3 Reiki certified.
nice.
Since 2018.
Nice. Nice.
So I feel like that's kind of what really got me into like energy, like understanding energy was
Okay.
just Reiki, you know. Hey fam, hey, I see you.
Hey, Fatima.
Girl. But yeah, that's really what, like, it's like before getting Reiki attunements, I thought I knew. And then it's like after getting the Reiki attunements, it's like a whole nother world opened up as far as like energy, and I became even more energy sensitive. Like I didn't realize that I was energy sensitive before.
Okay.
But getting into like actually getting my attunements was like, yeah, girl.
Right. Yeah.
And like it's like as time goes on, I get more and more energy sensitive.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
think it progresses when you become aware of things in your surroundings and how much energy impacts us. of course, I was the same way, but I didn't realize that. How can I put it? I didn't realize my abilities when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I'm aware of it now. Meaning, like
Like
when
you
I
think
look
that's
back.
advanced.
Meaning that when I look back, I was like, okay, well, this is what my father was trying to get me to do, and this is what my mother was showing me. Not really putting it together and piecing it together until I end up walking into a school and seeing interest in Reiki. I initially wanted to be a life coach. That's just something I wanted to do, but I know I wanted to help people. Anybody that know me know I've always been into intimacy, love, sex, all the things of that nature since, unfortunately, since I
Since the
was
very
young.
no, I know.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So, open conversation, even my mother friends will always, tell me different things about myself. In regards to how I carried myself, but I wasn't aware of it. But it also had to do a lot with the energy that I gave off. So I think that we both, as we got older, came to realize we had our aha moment. That's why I say when it comes to family things, because it's within us. It's actually within everybody if they want to tap into it.
Exactly.
But it's within us as a generation because our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, and so on, they did certain things in the past that is part of our bloodline. It's part of our DNA. So,
Yes.
yep.
Because
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten some intuitive downloads and some
Mhm.
ancestors lacing my
Mhm.
shoes and letting me know some things. So I was like, oh,
Exactly.
okay, like, okay,
Exactly.
ancestors. Okay, everyone.
Exactly.
But,
Yep.
but
It's in
like,
you.
I think my passion when it comes to like energy work is
Mhm.
kind of like like showing people what everyday energy work looks like.
Okay.
Because I feel like, especially now, like, it's a spiritual boom.
Right.
It's a shift of the paradigm, basically, in
Right.
the 1960s, all of this stuff that we're seeing that's mainstream now is
Right.
counterculture. And now
Right.
we're seeing the mainstream, that counterculture become the mainstream.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
all this astrology, tarot, and all of this
Right.
stuff has been going on, Reiki, all of this stuff has been
Right. The
happening.
zodiacs.
But now
All
I
of
feel
that.
like our generation, because of the age of Aquarius,
Right.
is getting more like clicked
Open.
into everything. So I feel like this is a great time to start like sharing just how everyday things can shift your energy. Like I feel like
Exactly.
people, it's easy to go off of like just, mental health. A part of your energy level, that's all of that affects it. Like I was
Right.
saying, like mind, body, and spirit,
Mhm.
like people don't understand like how those things correlate so much.
Exactly.
Just that alone, like people don't
Right.
realize, like when you're feeling an imbalance or you feel like something isn't right, or even if you're
Right.
having a bad day, you might
Right.
not even be having your bad day. You're having
Exactly.
someone else's bad day
Exactly.
that's getting
Exactly.
projected upon you. Like
Exactly.
people can energetically attack you without you
Mhm.
even realizing it, or they could do little things to throw you off
Right.
and fuck up your energy.
Knowing or not knowing, that's what some people fail to realize. Sometimes people think they're going through a spiritual attack or spiritual warfare, and it may or may not be intentional. Somebody could be having malice against someone else, and if you walk into their space, you pick that up, right? Or you could just be picking up something from your past that you haven't even let go of yet. So
Yep.
now something has triggered you, a song or like a conversation with somebody, and you're not realizing, oh shit, this is from my past and I haven't dealt with it. But once you dig into it and really realize, okay, this song is from what in this song, what word or what melody in this song actually triggered me to have this certain mood, be it happiness or sadness. It's a real thing. That's why music is so powerful. That's why
Yes.
art is so powerful. That's why
Yes.
dance is so powerful, because it all actually, how can I put it? It has something to do with our inside, with our DNA, with our makeup. So yeah, when it goes down to even, let's say, the music, there's different hurts, and there's different hurts that actually correlate with different feelings or different energetic things that go on within us that can either elevate us, it could cleanse us, it can heal us, it can make us lighter, it can make us darker. And even with those hurts, those tones go inside the music industry, go inside the music we listen to. Down from hip hop to gospel to R&B to reggae to country, it doesn't matter. It's all correlated into how we're going to receive that and how it affects our energy. So that's just music alone. But yeah, alone.
Really, it's
So
all media. Like, you know,
exactly.
sometimes you really have to like interrogate, okay, when I go on this app, how do I feel? When I'm, you know, scrolling down my timeline, what am I really getting out of it energetically? Like, is it always like Twitter?
Right.
I'll use Twitter as an example. Because sometimes I'll actually have to delete the Twitter app off of my phone. Because it's like you get on there and there's people, they always talking about some bullshit or something negative. Everything has to be so negative. It's like, y'all don't see how this is affecting you on the everyday? Like, you know?
Exactly.
Or like certain music. Sometimes like, I listen to rap a lot and I love rap. But sometimes I have to click off of rap sometimes and go, okay, let me listen to something else. I'm just trying to keep that love-based like frequency, you know, to where it's just positive shit, like not on some fake posy stuff. Because I feel like that's something that's prevalent too. Because I feel like when you're talking about spiritual stuff, you have to acknowledge the duality, the light and the dark. Because you can't believe in the light if you don't believe in the dark.
Exactly.
Because they exist on a spectrum, it's a polarity. So it's like you have to balance those two energies in your life in order to feel good. You have to embrace certain dark things. Not everything.
And that goes into the transmutation and transmuting of the energy itself. For example, like when you say light and dark, if someone is going through, and there's several avenues you can take when you're trying to lift up your spirits or just cleanse your aura and cleanse your chakras. But one of the things that's very simple to do is to simply walk outside and put your feet in the grass and the ground. That itself, connecting with Mother Earth, connecting with nature, if it allows. Because sometimes Mother Nature won't even allow you to transmute that energy because it's not time for you. Sometimes you have to carry that negative energy for a particular purpose. For example, if somebody's going through a negative space or in a dark space, sometimes later on down in life, that evolves to something greater. You get a lot of people that write out of negative spaces. You get a lot of people that do movies out of negative spaces. You get a lot of energy that's negative that tends to be a beautiful thing later on down the line. So like you said, it's not always a bad thing to have the dark to get to the light. And vice versa. Exactly. There's a balance that has to happen. There's truly a balance that has to happen. And sometimes you'll get people that want to sulk in their depression, want to sulk in their anxiety, just want to sit there. And those people, if you are a person of light, sometimes all you need to do is hug them. You know what I'm saying? Just to transmute it. Sometimes all you need to do is kind of sit there and project to them beautiful and enlightening thoughts. This is something that's very possible and very rare, very real. I always give people the example, especially my clients, if they ever want to just test out the ability of how to affect somebody and lift up their spirits, or to see if your thoughts is actually affecting them. And we did this as little kids. Just stare at somebody. I tend to say somebody of lighter color because you can actually see their complexion change. Stare at them, stare at their ear. Try to feed them positive thoughts, definitely not negative because it's a real thing. Try to feed them positive, enlightening thoughts, and watch their ear color change. Watch the complexion of their ear color turn from light, or whatever their complexion is, to red, to hot red, depending on how long you've actually been trying to transfer that energy. It's a real thing. You can see it without them even looking at it, and they're unaware of it.
That just happens without you being in their vicinity and staring. Because I feel like everyone's had the experience to where either one of their ears got really hot, and you just like You know, it's all,
They
I feel like
talking about
that's
me.
definitely like a no. Like,
Somebody talking about me.
exactly
Yep.
within the
Yep.
Black culture, like, oh, somebody's
Yep.
talking about me.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, or something
That's
like
those
that.
old traditions that, or those old, what you call those folk tales or whatever, that are real.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that you really can do. Like you say, in person or not in person with somebody. That goes down to Reiki. You have some people that really don't believe that Reiki works, right? And that's okay. You know, if you haven't experienced it, it's okay that you don't think that it's real.
Right.
But they have a hard time realizing that you can actually transfer or send healing energy to somebody. What's the difference in
Energy at
Reiki?
all.
Right. What's
Just
the
any
difference
energy.
in Reiki and your grandmother praying for you?
Thank you.
What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're both connected to the higher source, the higher power.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the ones that's actually holding the power. We're being vessels in order to receive that power. It's the same thing. Your grandmothers, your great grandmothers, whoever is pretty much the one that's mainly praying over the family early in the morning, they're the ones that actually is receiving that and sending it out for protection, sending it out for you to be blessed. There is absolutely no difference. There is absolutely no difference. Whether you feel you received it or not is a mental thing. It's a mental thing. But with Reiki, a lot of the times people actually see the difference and can feel the difference almost instantaneously, if not over the course of days. So, yeah. Yep.
Every experience of mine has been like instantaneous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, every single one. I think that's what got me with Reiki is like just even just feeling the energy shifting like through your chakra system. Like, let's say you go in there and like you're all in your head and all this, and all of a sudden when you're done, you're just like calm. Like you can almost just like go straight to sleep. Or like when you walk, you could just, it feels differently when you walk because the energy that was all up here has like shifted down all the way to your root chakra. And like now you're walking differently. You're walking lighter. Like your whole entire energy is distributed. Like it's just some super stuff. But like what we were talking about with like projecting energy, people don't realize you can project energy just by having a negative thought about somebody. Like learning about energy has made me way more mindful about my thoughts in general, especially towards other people.
Right.
You know, it's like that's the energy that I'm projecting upon them. And if they are energy sensitive, they can feel that in one way, shape, form, or the other. You know what I'm saying?
They can.
Like, you know, and then if you're spiritually in tune, if you send a negative thoughts to somebody or somebody send a negative thoughts to you, guides and ancestors be snitching.
They do.
So
they really
like,
do.
You ever been talking shit behind somebody back and you wonder why they stopped fucking with you just out of nowhere? It's because their guides and their ancestors snitched on you.
Yep. And sometimes we don't pay attention to it. I know I've been hard-headed enough to not take heed to it and just don't be like, you know what, forget you, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing. And they be like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and break your heart for a minute. So you realize that we was trying to give you a message. Yeah, ancestors don't play. They really don't play.
They really don't. I should do a whole.
That's a whole other topic. Don't play.
Ancestors don't play. But like, what are some of the ways that you transmute energy?
Some of the ways that I transmute, of course, I definitely use Reiki. Emotional freedom therapy is also one. Emotional freedom therapy is where you do EFT tapping. You're tapping on your meridian points. And for that, you can pretty much shift anything that's going on in your body because, of course, your mind and the different chakras in your body and the different meridian points in your body are all connected. So if you're able to focus on, say, for example, I got a neck pain, right? And I don't have a neck pain right now, but let's say I have a neck pain and I focus on that neck pain and I'm able to feel it, imagine what it looks like, if it has a smell, so on and so forth, and take that pain in my neck and tap it out. If not, move it somewhere else in my body. But a lot of times, those particular pains are linked to something else that I'm holding on to. Some energy that
emotional,
is usually emotional.
People don't understand.
Or trauma. Yep.
When we're talking about energy, is like the pains in your body, or like if you're getting migraines or certain
Right.
things, those are
Right.
also attached to emotional energy.
Exactly. Yep. Very attached to it. And
Very
you
much.
have to, you can release it. You don't have to hold on to the aches and pains. You don't always have to go directly to medication. And I'm not telling anybody to stop taking their medication, but you don't have to always go to medication first. Utilize your mind first, because your mind is power. And like they said, energy cannot be created or destroyed. That's a
Right.
real thing. So if you're moving energy in your body, you have to move it somewhere. Why not move it outside of your body? Why not move it into a plant nearby or a tree nearby, or
Yep.
go sit at the beach or ocean and give it to the ocean? The ocean is huge. It has plenty of energy to do away with it, right?
Yep.
And that's another thing that I do. Sometimes I will go and sit at a body of water. And if I need to release something, I'll release it there. So there's several ways. Another way I tend to do it is with music. I'm big on shifting energy with music because it is so powerful. But of course, you have to be aware of the music you're listening to,
Yes.
and what they're saying in the music, so it don't cross shift on what you're actually trying to do. So if you're in a depressed and down state, you don't need to listen to nothing that's sad and
Which a lot of
heartbreaking.
people do. They want to like wallow in it. Like,
No.
I'm like 50-50. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like when you're feeling your emotions in real time, that you
Mm-hmm.
can definitely feel them. But
Mm-hmm.
when you get to a certain, like, I mean, feel them so you can let them out. If you need
Right.
to cry, cry. If you're
Right.
angry, go do some boxing, go
Right.
work out, go do some, housework. I feel like raging
Exactly.
anger is
Mm-hmm.
really good channeled through doing housework.
So check it. One thing that a lot of people don't bring up when it comes to transmuting energy is your zodiac sign. What do you fall under? Are you a fire sign? Are you a water sign, earth sign, air sign?
Mm-hmm.
All of that takes place with your energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know you're in a rage and you're a fire sign, you don't need to do something that's going to add to that flame at all. You need to do something that's going to balance out. Even something as simple as, say, for example, and I'm not Ayurveda certified or well versed in it, but I
Mm-hmm.
do know they deal a lot with the elements, especially when it comes to food and spices. So if you're a fire sign and you want to get cooled down or want to kind of be breezy in your personality, you can eat something that will cool you down.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a cup of water that will cool you down, depending on what you're actually going through. If
Mm-hmm.
you are needing something that's more energetic and flowy, you're going to do something with water, right? You're going to either drink a glass of water, you're going to go swim in some water, you're going to do something in relation to that because you need to get things moving.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff is connected.
Yes.
Earth, air, water, fire, it's all energetic.
And
It
it's
can
all
either be
yes, and it's
transferred or
all through
destroyed.
our astrology charts. All the
Exactly.
elements are through our astrology
Exactly.
charts. So what you were saying in regards to the signs, it can also relate to your Mars sign because
Exactly.
Mars rules action. So it could, I have
Yep.
a Libra and Mars. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know what that means when it comes to that. But
Uh-huh.
I feel like what it means is that whenever I'm like in a bad mood, my mental
Mm-hmm.
state is what's affected because air it has a lot to do with the mental. So if
Right.
you're an air sign, you happen to have like a Mars and an air sign,
Right.
then you have a lot of
Right.
energy up here.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get that out, you have to get out of your head and get into your body and actually do something.
Right.
Or take what's in your head and
Mm-hmm.
get it
Transfer
outside
it.
of your body by doing something
Mhm.
creative, by writing,
Right.
even by talking to
By
yourself, by
painting.
praying.
Please explain to us on transmuting energy into art.
Okay,
Into art.
so like my creative process is so non-linear
Mm-hmm.
because in order for me to transmute energy, I feel like it has to be built up in me
Okay.
for some
Okay.
reason. I don't know why that is. But
Mm-hmm.
I have a painting that is very well. Actually, I feel like all of my paintings are some type of emotion.
They're
That's
beautiful. Right.
My best example is not a PC one, but we're gonna do it
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
Digital painting that I have now is like about sexual frustration.
Okay.
It's like I'm sitting there, I'm listening to what is a sex playlist. I'm just like,
everybody got one.
I'm just like, man, like, let me just start doing some art because this is the only, and that's what came out, you know, like it's just, or like channeling, you know, being upset, emotionally upset or frustrated. It's easier to control what's going on a canvas, whether it's digital or physical, than it is to control other people or to control outcomes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, instead of me trying to control other people and control outcomes, I control my canvas. I control my art. Because that's really what you can only control yourself. So that's me controlling the situation is by transmuting it through art.
Right.
You know, and
that's interesting you brought up the sex energy, because just like you said, like for example, with Reiki, you said a lot of times you feel it from the crown of your head going down. And for those that haven't had it, we start at the crown of your head, your crown chakra. So with sex energy or sexual energy, it starts at the bottom, at your pelvis, and goes up your spine and goes up. So, of course, when it gets into the mental aspect and wanting to paint, it's all flowing up this way versus going down. I like to say that the healing energy or things we're trying to do away with goes down.
Yeah.
But things we're trying to bring to us goes up.
Well, that's like in anything, like in certain practices, when you're trying to, you know, take something away, you go, you know, down. When you're trying to bring something in, you go up.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like that. So, and sexual energy is creative energy.
It is. It is.
You know, because that's literally the energy that it takes to create a life. That's literally the energy of procreation.
Exactly.
So, you know, sexual energy is some of the best energy to, you know, use in order to create something, whether it's art, you know, whatever it may be. You know, that's where that energy comes from, really, is sexual.
Some women that are be trapped in their creativity don't realize they can go right to their womb and create and produce with whatever they're trying to produce. Because that is where we give life, right? So if you're stuck in a certain spot, or you have writer's block, or you just don't know what to do next within your business, go right to your womb and shift that. You can literally, just like we can feel energy when we walk into a room, you can literally feel that trapped energy in your womb. Like, all you have to do, clockwise, counterclockwise, remove it, destroy it, however you're trying to do, bring it to you and bring it up and begin to create and watch it manifest. So yeah, sexual energy is very powerful. A lot of people don't realize that even when it comes to fasting from sex, be it you're just doing it to do it, or you're doing it for religious reasons, spiritual reasons, whatever the case may be, is a very powerful tool. It's very complicated. Very complicated. I will say that. But it's very powerful. Because, like you said, a lot of our creativity is coming from that. So if you're not releasing it sexually, it has to come out somehow. Either can be created or destroyed. Yeah, unless there's a blockage, right? Unless there's a blockage, then of course you could do things to release it. But even then, if there is a blockage, you don't necessarily have to have sex in order to remove it. There's other things you can do to remove that blockage within your you know, I don't want to get too graphic. But yeah. So, yeah, I like to suggest people to fast. I've did it on several occasions, and to see the things that manifest after it is a beautiful thing. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's very powerful. When I've met men that say they are on a sex fast, it's like, really? You're on a sex fast. But then when they explain why, and knowing what I know now, is like, aha, you're trying to manifest something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes man and woman will fast from sex just to manifest their husband or their wife.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or just to manifest a job. It's very,
you want to keep your energy field clean.
exactly.
Like that's something.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we're getting into it. So that's something about manifestation that a lot of people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
In order to manifest, your energy field has to be clean.
Exactly.
And your energy field only has to include
Change your mind.
the energies that you want to attract to you.
Right.
If you want to attract something, but you have a whole bunch of stuff that's contradictory to what you're trying to attract around
Right.
you, then you're going to only repel what you're trying to attract.
Or you're going to attract bullshit.
Or you're
It's going to take you longer to get to it.
Because
Yep.
the message that you're sending the universe is, I like this energy. I like being
Right.
in this energy.
I can deal with this for a minute.
The energy that they're surrounded by is the energy that's within them. It's the energy that's
Exactly.
on them. Because
Exactly.
it's literally what's around you.
Exactly. Exactly. Touching on that, another good way to get rid of energy like that, take a shower. Take a bath. That's another topic, but simple things that most people won't shy away from because they do it on a daily basis. Utilize your daily shower. Utilize that water.
I'm like, I want to get into this so bad because this is exactly what I'm talking about. The everyday transmuting of energy.
Yep.
Literally everything that you do every
is
day
a ritual.
Is a ritual and can be turned into a way to transmute energy.
Right.
You just have to know, you just have to be
what
intentional about what you're doing. So when you're taking a shower, you should be intentionally washing and saying, I'm going to get such and so energy off of me. This is what I want.
Exactly.
But honestly, like, I do my prayer in the shower. Like, I pray in the shower.
Yep, I do too. Yep. You know? I don't do my prayers in the shower. I do my affirmations in the shower.
Okay.
That's what I do. I
do both. I do a little bit of both.
Okay, you be in there for a while now. That's a picture.
I mean, like, when I first wake up, that's where I go. Like, when I first wake up, I thank God and all that. And then I take it into the shower. Like, my prayer is like, my whole entire morning routine is basically a prayer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, I mean, making your coffee, cleaning. When you're cleaning, you're thinking and visualizing about energy that you don't want in your life anymore. You're cleaning, you're cleaning that energy out of your life.
Right. If you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, is that the energy you're trying to bring to you? You know what I'm saying? Are you constantly trying to be in somebody else's business and looking at somebody else's life throughout the day? Don't pick up your phone first thing in the morning. Because that's the energy you bring into you.
I'm bad at
Do something else.
I check my email literally like, I thank God first. And then I check my email. And then I'm like, all right, God, we're going to the shower. What's up?
Right. I recently got into, now I would pray in the morning. And sometimes I would and I would not. But since my grandmother, Pandora, rest her soul, she would wake up in the quietest hour of the morning, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and just be praying. So I never, that's just something all her grandkids and great grandkids and her children knew she did. It's not until recently that I realized why she did it and the power of it, right? And like I said, praying alone is transmuting energy.
Yes.
Like that's a powerful thing.
Let go, let God. That's transmuting energy. You're giving this energy away. You're giving it to God.
Exactly. So I love when people be like, I'm not spiritual. I believe in God. Da, 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 da. Of course, there are people that are spiritual that don't believe in God, but it's all connected to the source.
Exactly.
So what's the difference? So so that to me, like I said, that early morning prayer, that early morning meditation, that first thing you do when you open your eyes is what formulates how your day is going to go. Of course, different things can come up and attack you or hit you a certain way, a bad attitude. You walk out the door, somebody may hit you. You don't want to take heed to that and be like, oh, you just almost hit me and go off. Right. Or you go into a workplace and that person doesn't like to smile.
And here's the
Smile
thing
at them
about
anyway.
that, though.
Yeah, smile at them anyway.
Attitude towards you and a person hitting you, that's transmuting energy too.
Exactly.
That's why you have so many people that are miserable and talk shit about other people. They're transmuting their energy. That, you know, misery loves company. That's literally a transmuting of energy.
You can see it in a person's face, though. When a person is in a negative space, and it's not down talking a person that's in a negative space, because we all have been there, right? But you can literally look at a person and see when they're going through something and they need to release something in their body and their makeup. You can tell them whether they do it or not, or you can tell them you need to, you know, be a little bit optimistic, or look on the brighter side, or be glad you're still alive, or tell them something, and they may soak in it even deeper and start frowning. You can see that energy in their face, whatever's going on in their body. The face and the eyes do not lie. So yeah, it's a lot of ways to transmute energy. And I mean, you can tell some more, but like, for example, like I said, the water, doing different healing work, emotional freedom therapy, Reiki, going into nature. That's very powerful. Music, dance, art, hugging somebody. You know, they have this thing called, and it probably is not as popular now because of COVID, but cuddling sessions. That's transmuting energy, whether people realize it or not. Some people having sex. Having sex is definitely transmuting energy. And you got to be careful with that, because some people would like to be intimate with you because they know you can heal them. I dated a guy like that. He knew once he was intimate with me, he was going to be able to feel lighter, brighter, everything else while I'm carrying around his bullshit. But luckily, I knew how to do away with it. Until I realized how to do away with it, I was sad, down, and depressed, wondering why this and that. But the minute, and sometimes that's what us women are for certain men, not to be used for sex, but we're naturally healers and nurturers, and they're to care for people. So if you have a partner and you know that they're coming to you to be healed, you just have to say, do I want to do this for this person, or do I not? And just like they're transferring to you, you can mentally transfer to them. It's a process. It's
definitely something like when you're having sex, just in general, is to pay attention to how you feel after you've had sex with that person, or just hanging out, being in a close vicinity with somebody for a long period of time. You got to pay attention to how you feel about it. You know, and sometimes after interactions with people, you are now carrying some type of energy, and you have to figure out how you're going to transmute it or how you're going to get rid of it, you know, because
and sometimes it's not even their energy that they're transferring to you. It could be the person that they previously was with, or it could be an attachment that's inside of them that they didn't even realize they had, and now you have it. So it's of course, these are multiple topics we can touch on.
All of this, but touch on like this, like
girl. But soul attachments is a real thing, especially when it comes to sex. So sometimes, I mean, because you know, we can talk about sex and transmuting that if you want, but when you have sex with somebody, and it's not just the actual intercourse, you could be giving somebody head, having oral sex, and they can give you a whole different makeup. If you've ever had sex and all of a sudden a day or two later you looking dry and sucked up? No, it's a real thing.
No, I know it's real. I do.
Dry and sucked up and worn out. What the hell they transferred to you? Who did they transfer to you? What did they collect from something that they were unaware of, or were they aware of it? Because it's not
intentions when y'all were. To me, I feel like this is the most prevalent thing. What was a person's intentions when they were having sex with you? I feel like that's something that I've experienced, where it's like I've been intimate with somebody, and I could honestly, after they were done, feel like they didn't have good intentions for me.
Oh yes. And
get up and be done. You feel that, you feel drained, like you You know what I'm saying?
You,
Like, there's interactions where you can feel like, you know, if you've ever had the
you.
opposite, where like afterwards, like, I'm walking on sunshine.
You want to clean up
Because it's
everything. What
like,
do
you know,
you
when they're
want? Do you
with
need a
you, their
sandwich?
intention was
All of
to
that.
make you feel good.
Yep.
And then, like, you know, on the opposite end of that spectrum, if somebody's just trying to use you or just using you to make themselves feel better, while they're sitting there judging you negatively the whole time that you guys are doing what y'all are doing.
Don't even like women, you know,
You're
or
gonna feel that.
whatever your makeup is. Don't like a woman. Don't, because a woman can do it to a man as well.
Yes.
A woman can very well do it to a man as well. Is give him something, and we're not saying, I'm not saying an STD, but there's spiritual STDs as well that people don't realize. You could be having something and don't know you have it. You know what I'm saying? Be wondering why you're having problems peeing, and you go to the doctor and they can't figure out why. You know what I'm saying? That's something people got to be careful of too, because a woman can give a man energy, negative energy, or just an attachment as well. She can make him a whole hoe. Just to be blunt about it, she can make him a whole hoe.
Or extremely insecure.
Exactly.
Or, you know, to the point to where he doesn't even feel good about sex anymore. He doesn't even feel good about his body anymore, because it's her insecurities that she's projected upon him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I need you to be insecure, so this is what I'm gonna do to you. Right. And a lot of this happens without people realizing it, because they don't realize that their energy can actually affect other people.
Right. Yep. So, I mean, just think about role playing. Some people love to role play, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with role playing during sex, even if it's not involving intercourse. But that's the same thing. What role, huh?
That's what I like.
What role are you taking on? Really? Like, what role are you carrying? You know what I'm saying? With that person, or what role do they want you to play? Transmuting energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like, I think a lot of people that are into BDSM and kink, that they know that, and that's a part of the experience.
They know they power.
Yeah, it's a power exchange, and it's
like
understanding that there's a power being exchanged for a reason, for a purpose that is far beyond sex. Most of it is mental. Most of it has to deal with trauma and actually transmuting traumatic things that have happened to them.
Yep.
You know, it's just
or didn't happen.
Yeah.
Something they want to possess but can't possess in real life, so they got to act it out somewhere else.
Power.
Yep. Exactly. Or submission, you know? Yep. Some people want to not have so much energy, and they want to submit to whoever else is trying to give them something that seems more powerful to them. So they will lower themselves to submit to somebody that they think is more powerful, that they've actually transmuted. I'm going to give you my power at this moment and submit to whatever you're trying to give to me.
Yes,
it's the same thing.
Submission is an exchange of power.
Exactly.
And if you're powerful enough to know I am powerful, but I'm submitting right now, you know, then that's just you shedding yourself of that energy of your power and just letting it, you know, letting that be a flow of exchange of energy. Right. But,
so as far as, because I know one of the things that's real prevalent right now during COVID is because a lot of people are walking around confused, don't know what to expect next, being hit with different things financially, vaccination-wise. There's a lot of things being thrown around, and it's an energy that's being exchanged and sometimes bottled up into one, and people don't know how to release it. So, or they don't know how to respond to it, or when they do respond to it, it's a negative outburst, right? Yes. And in my opinion, in this time, especially when it comes to COVID, is you have to take care of yourself first, right? Like you have to take care of yourself. You have to make sure your mental space is good, because if you're on point mentally, can't nobody bother you but what you're going to do and what you're not going to do and how it's going to affect them, because you know you're healthy. You know what's going to affect you and what's not going to affect you. And don't let people throw their opinions at you, because once they throw their opinion at you, then you're being hit with all kind of emotions. You're being hit with all kind of negativity. You're questioning yourself on what you should do health wise. You know what I'm saying? And I like to tell people, when somebody says, are you vaccinated or unvaccinated, I like to tell them it's none of your business. Am I asking you if you've been HIV tested? No. No, that's the real thing. Because if somebody was to sit and ask you, have you been tested for HIV? If it's not your partner, that's going to hit your spirit a certain way. That's like me saying, well, do you got cancer? Are you terminally dying from something? That's going to hit you a certain way. And depending on how you receive that, you could receive that illness. Just like if somebody was saying they were sick and they wasn't sick, they're going to get sick, because they received that in their spirit. It's the same thing with somebody questioning you and doubting whether you should do something or not do something.
Yes.
Stay strong within your mental space on what you decide to do and what's good for you.
That's how a lot of people try to affect your energy. Gaslighting. Or,
Exactly.
like when you're saying that you're going to achieve a goal and they're like, oh, you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want that? Like, I used to accept that. Now I've changed that to where it's like, yes, like I totally, you have to push back on any of that, because that's literally try to plant seeds of doubt. That's another energy exchange conversation.
Right, exactly.
Like a lot of people will use like certain tactics like negging to try to mess up your mental energy, your mental space, or your emotional energy, your emotional space. Like if you're talking about things that are going on good in your life, and then they mention something that was like a hardship for you.
They try to bring it up to bring you down.
They're trying to get you here and here, to throw you off balance. That mind body trying to throw you off balance.
But I will say this, sometimes, just like we was talking about our ancestors and our guides, sometimes things like that will come up that will seem like an attack, but we really need to deal with it because we pushed it down thinking we did away with it, and it's still there. So sometimes if somebody brings something up that was traumatic, or did you handle this, or did you do this, and they know you haven't, and it can be looked at as an attack, ask yourself, why is this being popped up again? Is this something I need to go back and deal with? That's one of those things where if they're transmuting something to you, assess it and see what you really need to do with that energy. It's not always bad.
If you're triggered by it, for sure.
Yeah.
Or like I'll notice, like, it won't just be one person bringing something up. It will be a series of events. Where, that energy is being, I'm being made aware of that energy in my mind. Or like a song, a movie, like, or like just someone's name, someone's day of birth, coming up at you, and you're like, why is all this like, like, why is all this happening? Or like you'll just notice like a shift of energy out of nowhere. Like that's a very easy way to tell, like, if somebody's projecting energy, or things are being projected upon you. It's like if you've been in a really good mood, and then all of a sudden you're in a terrible mood, or you're like angry, or you're emotional, or you start crying out of nowhere. Sometimes that's not your emotions. That's somebody else's, stuff that's basically been projected upon you, and then you have to figure, okay, where is this coming from?
Or that could be a guide coming through. If you find yourself getting like extremely emotional, it could be a guide trying to come through and make you aware of something that's laying dormant for too long. I need you to deal with this, right? Another way to realize when you have trapped energy in your body, there's different exercises and positions you can do. You can lay flat, and I can't do it now because of my position, but you can lay flat on your back with your knees, like your feet on the ground, but your knees is up, right? And just raise your back up a little bit. And if your body begins to tremble, that's trapped energy, right? If, for example, you're standing up and you try to hold up one leg and you begin to wobble, That's trapped energy. Something's imbalanced in your body. You
Mm-hmm.
need to release that. So like I said, there's different ways to release it. One of the best things is if it's trapped and you're doing one of those exercises, try to hold it for a while and imagine it leaving your body. Once
Mm-hmm.
again, being transferred down into the ground, being transferred into the ether, wherever is fitting for that person, so that you don't have to deal with that energy. But most importantly, if you're doing away with energy, you have to call energy in. If you're doing away with something negative, you have to call in something positive, or else you're kind of like an empty vessel. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be empty. You want to replace sadness with happiness.
Right.
You want to replace brokenness with prosperity. Like, these are things you want to call in. You do not want to leave something open, because just like you releasing something out, somebody next to you could be releasing something out, and you hops right into you. A good example, and I'll give a movie. A good example of transfer or transmuting energy is dang, I just had it. It's a movie where they were touching each other. And they would either walk past them or they would simply touch you. A person can simply touch you and transmute energy if you're not well protected. I'm trying to think of what that movie was. I'll look it up.
I've literally had like moments where I've like shaken somebody's hand and I could feel their energy
Yes.
on my hand.
Yep.
Like, it literally felt like I had something on my hand. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had to, like, I don't know,
Yep.
wash
Yep.
my hands, or like, just because it just you could just feel certain shit.
Yep.
Just like you
Mm-hmm.
can feel good energy when you're around somebody
Right.
that's all positive and it's all love, or like you around
Right.
your fam or people that really care about you. And you can really
Right.
feel that, like, you can feel that energy, like, I'm loved, or, you know, you're just like hella
Right.
happy and cheesy and stuff. So it's like, I feel like people need to just be more mindful, you know, and people will say, like, I'm moody. It's like, are you?
No.
Or are you around a bunch of people that are projecting
Right.
different shit and you don't
Are
even
you protecting
realize it?
yourself?
You know
You
what I'm
could be
saying?
moody and standoffish, like looking around like, oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around, bothered with these people. Why does your spirit not want to be bothered with those people? It could have nothing to do with you, but your spirit is like, we need to get up out of here.
Telling you,
And
don't do it.
when you need to get up out, when your spirit is telling you that, you need to go. It don't matter where you are, what you're doing. It could be a protection for you. Something can be about to happen in your surroundings. I've had that happen to where I've actually been at a workplace and been like, you know what, I'm not feeling good, blah, blah, blah. Leave the workplace. Next thing I know, next day, why, what time did you leave? It was a fire in the building. Really? Oh, okay. So I was protected.
Right,
I love just in time.
He's already saying, like, this energy ain't right.
Right. These are real things that people don't take heed to because they are just thinking, oh, this is just a weird feeling. No feeling is a weird feeling. Right? So the movie I was talking about was Constantine.
Okay, yes, I've seen that movie.
Constantine. If you watch the movie Constantine, that's a very realistic thing when they're transferring energy, right? Because they did it by touch and they did it by breath and they did it by calling on different things. It's a real thing. So next time y'all watch that movie, you're going to look at it from a different perspective. Yep. And then you'll watch people how they touch you. Yeah. You'll have some people that's well aware of what they can do. And they'll touch you and be dropping their shit on you.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
It's just like narcissists. Like how they do things, like how they say things, or like, you know, and they know what they're doing, or they're gaslighting you, and they know they're gaslighting you. That's the energy exchange. That's them giving you that energy.
Gaslight their ass back. They hate that. If you gaslight them back, they hate it. They hate it.
Like they hate it even more when you don't pay them any attention at all. Because at the end of the day,
they do.
Narcissists are energy miners. They're trying to get your energy off of you.
Right.
And they do little things to provoke you and trigger you to get that.
Right.
And they mess with certain people because they know who they can mess with that aren't hip to the game.
Right.
You know, so they just
or sometimes because we living in a 5D or going into 5D, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are aware. They can look at you and tell whether you are of light or dark or what space you're in. And their energy vampires are a real thing. Be it good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people are of light and want more and just greedy, right? And some people are of dark and just want to suck every joy and happiness and everything out of you. So when you're walking around and you're seeing somebody and you know you did a lot of work, you did a lot of work on yourself, no matter what type of work you did. You did some healing work, you did some cleansing work, you did bath work, you did salt work, you did earthing work, whatever kind of work it is, and you know you're feeling lighter, you're walking lighter, they will see that and they will literally walk up to you. Hi, you probably have experienced this. Hi, how you doing? Or just be extra friendly. Sometimes they see who
extra
you are.
Friendly, extra nice. Or you might have the opposite experience. Where somebody sees you vibrating higher, feeling good, and they try to do something to pick at you or get you to like
cuss them out.
The switch.
Cuss them out. That's a big one.
They're like, I need some of that energy. Some people don't know how to have a positive energy exchange. They only know negative, so they will create an opportunity to have a negative energy exchange with you.
Right. They need it. They need it. Like blood. Like they're sucking on blood. They need that. Literally it's a real thing.
Like, I also notice, like, when I'm listening to music now, I can feel, like, what artists, well, I feel like all artists are transmuting, but I feel like there's certain artists that are aware.
Oh, yeah. Right.
They're aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
there's a lot of dark music now.
Energy was transmuted in a song. For example, I'll use Kanye West because I feel like Kanye West is a manifester. And he's like, he transmutes a lot.
He does. Even his tones. He does a lot with her.
In his music too, like just in the beats that he produces too, like Can't Tell Me Nothing. I actually have that on my manifestation music playlist. Because that's literally what he was doing. He was literally manifesting on that song. Like, wait till I get my money right. I'm going to get my money right. It's happening. Just
that I am. Powerful.
You can literally feel like that rich energy. Like that has an energy. Wealth. Feeling rich, affluence, it has an energy. You can literally feel it in that song. What's another song? Nipsey Double Up.
I'm not. See, unfortunately, I haven't listened to a lot of Nipsey music, so I can't tell you.
Double Up. That's another one that's on my
Double Up.
Like, you can literally, like, feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like Nipsey's another person that's a manifester. But you can just feel that energy being transmuted, that hunger. Like, Nipsey is the person that transmuted his hunger into his music, and you could really feel that.
So, somebody, who is this? Kareem has a question. Hey, Kareem. He says, is it natural to have days where you don't want to transmute or receive no one's energy? Definitely.
Yes, that's what I'm feeling alone. Or trying to speak to myself.
Be in your solitude. Because that's probably a time where you need to recharge and reheal yourself.
When you feel really tired. You know, and it's just like one of those days where you might not even want to leave your bed. That's basically what that is. You don't have the ability to give or receive. You know, like you're just like, I'm done. Especially if you're energy sensitive. Yeah, like
your body will shut down.
Or like you just feel closed off, like you don't want to have conversations. You're keeping your conversations really short. Like I have days at work. I'm just at work and I'm just like in my computer like this. Just people come up to me, hey, okay.
Like do not bother me.
Understand, like if I couldn't, and I have some days like mental health days, I don't even go to work. I just woke up and it was like, you know what? Nope. For me, and I think it's important to take hiatuses. Like I'm big on going on a hiatus
And some people be like, why? Why are you going on a hiatus? Because I need to. It's time. I disconnect from all social media. Sometimes I will turn off my phone or just don't take no phone calls because I have to recharge. It's very important to recharge from everything and everybody. Don't worry about who's missing out. Excuse me, who's missing out or who you're missing out on or money you're missing out on, because it's all going to come back to you anyway.
Exactly.
Once you have recharged yourself, you're not going to miss nothing. Some opportunities may not be presented when you're on a hiatus or recharging, but better ones will come along because the universe and spirit will not deny you something that's supposed to come to you anyway. And that's part of your divine purpose. So that's something people have to realize. It's okay to not want to transmute or have energy transmuted to you.
Or manifest.
Because you need, or manifest, because you need to have that cutoff time. Just like night and day, the sun doesn't shine 24 hours a day on the West Coast or the East Coast. The moon doesn't glow 24 hours a day because there has to be a balance between light and dark.
Exactly.
That's why we sleep. You know what I'm saying? We have to release and let go of the day. That's why when we wake, we still may carry some things from the previous day. That's why you got to cleanse yourself and wash yourself of that. It's important. It's important.
Taking breaks, we're not meant to constantly be, and that's why, you know, this whole new push on like manifesting, I think a lot of people like,
that's what it was. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like manifestation. Sometimes a part of you manifesting is you not doing nothing.
Right. Yeah, Kareem actually said it was falling. I didn't, because I'm not reading the comments. Yeah, falling. On the movie with the transfer energy.
Oh, falling. It's been a minute since I've seen that movie. But it's really, sometimes it is good to shut it all down and regroup, because sometimes spirit don't give you no choice. You wonder why everything's stagnant. Things that you're waiting on isn't happening when you want it to happen, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Literally, like, spirit is like, it's time for you to rest. You're not doing nothing else until you relax. So
I have a hard time shutting down. I have a hard time stopping and not running around and shutting down. And so when my body just says, I'm going to sleep for 3 days, I'm like, okay, I must have needed this. Or I get sick out of the blue and I know I was fine. Okay, I must have needed this. You just going to make my ass sit. Or even mechanical things like your car could break down and you be like, wow, I just did X, Y, and Z with my car. That is an energy exchange. So sometimes things will happen because they need you to sit your ass down. They need you to stop. They need you to rest. You're doing too much. Period. Yep. So, yeah. Yep.
All right. So, I think we should close this out soon.
Okay.
I feel like I don't even know when we said we was gonna do 30 minutes. It's been an hour.
Oh, has it? I wasn't even keeping track. I mean, we brought up a lot of things, and I think some things can probably be addressed later or another topic. Because I don't know if you had planned on getting on the sex thing.
No.
But that's definitely a real thing.
I feel like that's a powerful exchange of energy. Like currency is another. Love is the number one. Currency
the highest frequency.
Yeah. And then currency is number 2, which people don't understand. Right. Money exchange is actually the number 2 source of energy exchange. So, you know, that's why it's important to, you know, circulate. It's important to save money, but it's also important to circulate in order to get it back.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
You wanna, you know, what's the saying? Scared money don't make no money?
Exactly. You can't be scared.
You know, that's spiritual, you know what I'm saying?
And like, you can't be like, I hope this.
If you're not investing your time, your energy, and your money in the right ways, then they can't come back to you in the right way. So if you're having issues with your money, you should think about, okay, what am I investing my time in? What people am I investing my time in? Am I investing time in, you know, with a bunch of people that all they do is spend money or waste their money? Or they want to spend my money, or they always want to borrow my money. You know what I'm saying?
And the
So,
same thing goes for if money loosely goes out of your pocket and you constantly spending money. You get it, but you spend it. You have to assess, what is that? Why is that you're spending it faster than you get it, right? What spirit is that you're carrying around that has you doing that? Spirit is an energy. Spirit is an energy. So if you're carrying around something that has you doing things that you normally wouldn't do, you need to assess that and deal with that and do away with it. If you find yourself always wanting to have sex, even though we spoke on sex in a positive way, it could be very negative, right? So if you find yourself always wanting to have sex with anyone or anything, what spirit is that? What energy is that you're carrying around? Is that you? Right. Is that you, or is that someone else or someone's? You know what I'm saying? Because you could have multiple spirits attached to you. So yeah, and the same thing goes for different coppers and different metals. Be mindful of the different things that you wear or adorn on your body, because those things can actually affect your spirit and your energy as well. Is it aligned with who you are? Is it aligned with your sign? That goes back to whether you're a fire sign, your water sign, your earth sign, air sign, whatever the case may be. All those things tie in to your energy. So same thing goes for, I mean, we can go on and on. Same thing goes for the colors you're wearing. The colors, the colors are
black
big.
Right now, so for example,
Exactly. But you know, some people say black could be viewed as negative. It could be viewed as dark or depressing. It depends on what power you're trying to possess, right? Because even though you have on black, you're talking about something that's enriching. You're talking about something that's powerful. So it really depends on what you're trying to do with that color. You also got on green, so obviously you're trying to attract some money, or you're trying to heal your heart. You know what I'm saying? So it could be
you know what I noticed? What I wear, the colors that I'm attracted to in general correspond to my mental and my emotional state sometimes it correlates directly to whatever chakra needs. So like lately I've been like, you know, working on my root chakra, so I have been attracted to more reds. I have like
get that sensuality going, girl.
I was wearing a burgundy hoodie. You know, this is black. This is
that's
black
why you wanted to talk about sex.
This right here, black with red. So
yeah.
That's root chakra as well. My leggings are green, so that's heart chakra. But I'll just like notice, you know, that will correspond as well. So I'll be thinking like, oh, like I just noticed out of the blue, like, damn, I'm like really attracted to blue right now. Like, what's going on with my throat chakra?
Right.
You know?
So, it's time for you to speak. You know what I'm saying? Trying to open up that throat chakra.
So y'all gotta think about, you know, like what colors are your favorite colors, what colors you're attracted to, and what chakra that corresponds to.
Or what you're trying to open up as well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your color
named Black Orange.
What do you say?
It makes you feel stronger. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is a root chakra that has a lot to do with protection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how are you going to have action in order to protect yourself?
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So, you know, if you're working out, that might be something that's in the back of your mind. Like, I'm working out, you know, so I can be a protector, or I feel, you know, I feel more like I'm a protector when I'm working out. You know, so that could be something that corresponds as well. So
I can't really. Really? He says, Princess, that's my workout. Oh, nickname Black Iron. Boy, bye. What's happening, family? Hey, Ronald. So yeah, colors are very powerful. Colors are very important. A lot of times, like, even if somebody has done a cleansing, and you know, typically, and that's another topic as well, but if someone has did a cleansing, I like to tell them to wear certain colors depending on what they need to work on. And sometimes our jobs won't allow us to wear those colors, right? Like sometimes you have to wear all black or you have to wear all blue. But your energy and what you're trying to deal with, it could be health-wise. You need to wear a certain color underneath your garments in order for your body to really realign with what you're trying to do energetically.
You can have a crystal that's in that same color that you carry on you, which is what I do with you know, my crystal healing, my crystal work. You know, and I often find myself like not necessarily going off of like a color, just I literally will just, you know, say my intentions for the day out loud, and I'll go over to where my crystals are at, and the crystals will just pop out to me energetically.
Yeah, they call you. They speak to you.
They're like, you know, so you could just
You
feel
need me today.
like, oh, okay, what do you think?
Right.
Get you,
Right.
You know? Or like,
Yeah.
you know, I might not even fully understand what that crystal trying to tell me, but then I start doing my research throughout the day and be like, oh,
right.
that's
Exactly.
why. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this energy work subject is very deep. It definitely
It
cannot be
is.
wrapped up in just one discussion.
It
But
cannot.
I definitely thank you, cousin
Thank
Naya,
you. Thank you for
having this
inviting me and having
discussion
me.
with
It's a blessing.
we should
It
definitely
needed to
do
happen.
this again, because I feel
Yeah,
like
we
it's
should.
just important, especially during these times, you know, that we understand energy and how we can, you know, shift some energy in our life. Because I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't have control. They don't
Right.
have control over
But
their
you do.
environment. They don't have control over things that are
You
happening.
do.
They might be caught up in cycles. They might not know how to get out of those certain cycles.
Right.
And energy is the thing when
Right.
it comes to
Right.
being able to change your circumstances and stuff like that.
Right.
I definitely feel like within specifically the Black community, it is not discussed enough.
Right. They shy away from it.
You know what I'm saying? And like spirituality is deeper than just, oh, let's do some tarot pulls and talk about twin flames and stuff like that.
Right.
There's
Very,
actually real shit,
very much more.
you know,
Right.
that really actually needs to start being discussed now that we're in the era of Aquarius.
It's real shit that people already do on a daily basis that they can utilize in order to help them in these times, spiritually, that they don't realize that they can even do, which I think needs to be discussed as well.
Yes.
I think it's important that seeing that we having these discussions and we are going live, anybody that sees this or is on here now, if it's something that you want us to discuss or bring up, inbox either one of us and let us know, like, hey, you guys didn't touch on this. Can you talk about this? How do I deal with this? So that we are able to narrow down what someone actually wants to work on. And if you want to do it individually, either one of us can help you. Either one of us can help you. So no matter where you are in the world.
Yep, we got you.
No matter where you are.
Though, for sure.
Huh? What you say?
Do another one of these for sure. And I think
just let me know. Yep, I'm down.
I'm going to try to see if I can save this. I've actually never done a live. This is my first time doing a live. Ever.
I did one, but not with two people. Yeah. Y'all know I'm a little camera shy, so I don't really do hop on camera, but my cousin got me on here.
And you looking good and your skin is right and everything. You glowing.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, likewise. Okay. Well, what time is it? Ooh, it's 8:14, so we have been on here for a good minute.
Yes, we've been on here for over an hour.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, gods and goddesses.
Hopefully y'all got something out of this. I'm going to try to send it so it will be on my page.
Yes.
So if y'all want to go back to anything, and then we're going to do this again. But
love you. Peace and blessings.
Peace
Bye.
And blessings to you as well. Bye.
Bye.